Okay, on questions 3 and 4. Here we're asked to graph the parabola and graph its axis of symmetry and label the axis of symmetry with its equation. So let's show you how to do this both but the long way and with the calculator. So this is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. This is in vertex form already. So your vertex is the point h comma k, so that's 2. Remember, the x value is always the opposite, or the h is always opposite. The k or the y value is always the same, so your vertex is 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So there's our vertex. Looks like this thing should be opening up and should be wide since this is a half. So if we're going old school here, here's x, here's y. And we're going to put our vertex in the middle, 2 and 3. So then points smaller than 2 would be 1 and 0. Greater than 2 would be 3 and 4. So if we plug in 0 to our equation for x, this is 0 minus 2, which is negative 2 squared, which is 4. Half of 4 is 2, plus 3 is 5. Plug in a 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1 squared, which is 1. 1 times a half is a half. 3 plus a half is 3 and a half. Okay. So then we plug in 3. 3 minus 1 is 1. Squared is 1 times a half is a half. Plus 3 is 3 and a half. Plug in a 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Half of 4 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay? And remember, these should pair up on each side of your vertex. This here is your vertex. Okay? So now we've got our points. At 1, we're at 3.5. And we're also at 3.5 at x equals 3. At 0, we're up at 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're also at 5 at x equals 4. So there's your parabola. Okay. Let's draw in our axis of symmetry. That's just a dashed vertical line right through the vertex. That's the vertex. And your equation will be x equals a number. In this case, what is the x value? The x value is 2. So there's this is your axis of symmetry. Okay. And that would be it. Now, if you wanted to, we could do that on the calculator. You can go to y equals, clear this out, 0.5, parentheses, x minus 2 squared plus 3. So, assuming you didn't know how to do this at all, you type in the equation, hit graph. You look at your graph and it says, looks like the vertex is approximately 2, 1, 2, 3, maybe 2, 3. So you would go to your table of values. You would try to put 2, 3 in the middle. So get that right dead center in your chart. So you need them either move up or down to force that to go in the middle. And then look, on each side we got 3.5, 3.5. We got a 5 and a 5 and a 7.5, 7.5. So you would have your points. You could then plot them. And you would have your graph. Okay. So on number 4 here, this is not in vertex form. This is in standard. This is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So to find your vertex, in this case, your h value is equal to opposite of b over 2a. So if you're going to do this by hand, you need to work this out. So h equals opposite of negative 8 is actually positive 8 over 2 times a, because it's 2a, so 2 times 2. So that's 8 divided by 4, which is 2. So your vertex is the point 2 comma. Now we got to find k. So to find k is really just a y value. So k equals 2 times 2 squared, plugging 2 in for x, minus 8 times 2, plus 8. So k equals 2 squared is 4 times 2 is 8, minus 8 times 2 is 16, plus 8. So looks like here 8 plus 8 is 16, so 16 minus 16 is 0. So this looks like this is a point 2 comma 0. So we have our vertex at 2, 0. 1, 2, comma 0. Okay, let's go ahead and plug this in the calculator and see if we get the same thing. Because we did a lot of arithmetic, so let's check this out. So here, if we clear this out, we have 2x squared minus 8x plus 8. We hit graph. Does it look like it goes through 2 comma 0? It does. So 2 comma 0 looks like that's a vertex. We've got a pair of 2s, pair of 8s, pair of 18s. So at this point, you would make your chart, x and y. You would put 2 comma 0 in the middle. You want a couple smaller, a couple larger, and then you would plug in those values into the equation. But I have them right here, so I'm just going to fill them in. This is an 8, this is a 2, this is a 2, this is an 8. Okay? So at 0, I'm at 8. At 1, I'm at 2. 2, I'm at 0. 3, I'm at 2. And here I'm at 8. So here's my parabola. Appears this one is opening up as well. It was positive, so they're both opening up. We draw in our axis of symmetry. Label it with its equation, which again in this case is x equals 2, because our vertex is at the same x value. Okay? So there are graphing equations, parabolas.